Okay, I am back from my little break here. And I don't know, this is going to be like definitely a really short second part, but I do want to stream the entire thing if I can. If not only for the reason to have the footage to time lapse through later. So we just did a pretty painfully slow block out of this boot, and we gotta keep going here. So there's probably like an X-ray mode. I don't remember how to turn it on, but for pulling out moving geometry nicely, the ZBrush move tool is really good for this. So we just need more topology. I like the move tool, but I don't like the rotating tools for the camera, the orbiting tools. I'm not used to them really. So just trying to pull this thing back out here. And probably could have used an extra loop right down here to keep that to define this. But we can't really go too much further with this until we add some more topology to it. And I added some edge loops to the bottom, though I don't know if I can actually edge loop this. No, I can't. It's not going to loop that way. That would require like I would need to go do that in Maya. So if this ends up losing its shape too much, I'll have to redo the base mesh in Maya. Even here, I'm going to go back. This could be... Well, we can always come back down in subdivision too, I guess. So this is the shoe, right? So let's rename this thing. Rename. Or boot. Boot. Okay, so moving on to divide. There we go. So that should be enough to get this thing properly fitted to the foot. Kind of would have liked it to be closer in the low poly, but here we are. Actually interested when I shift D down what it'll look like when I move it. But this is kind of the base mesh actually now. The other one I made was like almost like too low poly. It's like a box. But even with it being like insanely low poly, I still almost screwed up the topology of it. Yeah, I just made the foot not flat at the bottom. That's okay though. This isn't like a robot hard surface shoe, it's more like a soft one. What's up, original? I did start a new stream, yeah. I had to stop the other one to go do some real life stuff. Oops. So I am kind of committed to streaming every single step of this process for myself, for anyone that cares, and then for making a video later about it. So this might be broken up into like lots of little pieces. We'll find out. We'll see. Oops. So I'm unable to move this in the way that I want to. So I might have to use like the actual standard brush. There we go. That was too much. I'm trying to use my mouse. It's time to wake up tablet though, I guess. What kind of stuff are you working on right now? Oh, you're working on your VR thing, right? I don't know what it is. I'm still just like not mentally back to like getting there slowly to doing anything other than this. This is like kind of, I mean, there's some thinking involved, but it's pretty much art. People are definitely back from the new year. Much emails, much avoiding them right now still. But I'll slowly get back into the real world. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about this right now that I'm just like kind of into it. Okay, so let's go back to the move tool and just keep moving stuff. I think this is too low, but I should be able to pretty easily start extracting out pieces. Why did I think it was there? That seems too low. Like, I'm gonna inflate this pretty soon. Did I also move the foot so it's not flat anymore? Is it flat? Is it like weird ZBrush perspective stuff? No, I think I moved it. Yo, I'm clicking all sorts of shit right now and like breaking stuff. Okay, I definitely did this by accident somewhere. Ooh, when did that happen? Oh, I like completely... I should be able to fix that back in this phase. Oh, man. I think I moved something by accident at some point and lost the flatness. Yo, what's going on? Oh, my Wacom tablet. Okay. Oh, I like completely destroyed this. This was flat. I don't know what happened here. I'm not going for like a space boots. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat on the ground, but I mean like it looks wrong. I wonder if I can get rid of half of this, but I can't see the body. Well, I screwed something up there. But that seems too low on the foot. What was going on with that? It's like right at the knee, honestly. This thing goes all the way up to his knee, so the boot's like up here. What's up, Jason Diamond? I have an assignment to deliver. Oh, it's for school. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. What? So you're doing a VR thing? Like what headset are you going to use? I'm like just getting on board with hopping into the Oculus Quest 2. I have one. I've had it like forever. But I wasn't using it. Extrude move. We're going to go up. What? Oh, we got to drop the levels. Okay. So I'm still learning how to do this. So that brought it up a little bit closer to the knee. That feels better. That one extra subdivision feels good. And I almost want to start again because I wrecked the topology of the... Oops. I must have at some point... Was it during the smooth or something? Like the foot's not flat on the ground anymore. And that makes me pretty sad. So am I really going to go... I think I'm gonna redo this piece. I kind of wanted the foot to stay flat, and it moved. I don't know if and I moved this stuff around. I was like holding Alt or something. How do you get this out of here? What the? I guess I can do that. I messed up my UI by accidentally. Oh, you have an index. That's cool. So you can do PCVR. Full PC VR. I might redo this shoe because I wanted this to stay flat. But then again, this floor is... Well, I don't know how much to trust this floor actually at the moment in ZBrush, but I'm pretty sure this became not flat. But this floor I think is dynamic. I think the floor changes depending on like... the floor changes depending on what's the lowest, so I'm not actually sure. But let's subdivide this. So Control D and keep going. There's a poly out here, right? This could have been done better. Like this is like too much manual work. Like this shouldn't have to be done. Like they should have just come out nicer. I just didn't have enough polys and I should have probably up-resed the topology before I came in here in Maya and got it modeled properly, but I'll see if I can keep it going from this point on. It's still fairly low poly. I still think it looks like a shoe though. That's the real thing. Making it look like a shoe. Oh, it's probably this stuff that I was doing. Like once I do this, it starts to mess with it. I can always do poly. I'm like probably a little too afraid. There's like things like poly clipping brushes where you can just slice off the whole bottom of the foot like flat and start to treat this more like Dynamesh. I'm still kind of treating this like subdivision surface modeling and less like sculpting, just because I'm not as familiar with the sculpting tools as I am with like kind of just moving things around. It looks like a boot, does it not? That's the main goal. Okay, so I lost all this like movement I had down here. Might have to sculpt. I think this is kind of becomes it becomes like a problem area. I end up having to like actually sculpt it to pull it out. This is probably what moved the low poly cage, was this kind of stuff. Only one game, Half-Life Alyx. That's the only game you really need for the PC VR. I feel like most of the VR experiences actually work fine on the Quest because they're all pretty performant. Half-Life Alyx is really the only one. Half-Life Alyx makes me sick as a dog. I get so sick. I don't know if that's the phrase, but I get really sick playing Half-Life Alyx. I couldn't beat it. I was just like nauseous. As soon as you're like in the subway, spoiler alerts, that so this is still like socks. These need to get pulled out. As soon as you hit that subway part where you have to like actually run around to not die, I just get so sick. But that being said, I got sick playing playing Halo Infinite when it first came out too. I just hadn't been playing games like that for a while. So I'm probably just like a little bit motion sick prone from not playing like moving video games very much lately. Do we think this could probably get ZR enmeshed or Dynameshed at this point? Maybe. I'm gonna move to standard brush. From the back, the naked foot looks high too though. Yeah, it might be a ZBrush thing that I'm not familiar with. Ooh. That moved to the bottom. This really does feel like a move tool. We're still so low poly that I should be able to like move it out. Still learning the ZBrush, but I anticipate, unless they can, I mean, even unless they come out with like a full army of MetaHuman clothes, it's like I'm probably going to be doing clothes a lot. So until Unreal Engine 5 is like properly out, I kind of want to extrude this. Or what's it called? Inflate a little bit. But leather boots are pretty tight. But until Unreal Engine 5 is out, I'm not really going to be programming that much. It's just going to be mostly motion capture and making clothes, I think, for this year. Who knows? Something new could come out. I thought I had all last year. I thought I had things figured out, and then I ended up getting a Vicon system, and that kind of changed everything. So who knows? Something like that could happen too. I've seen people make shoes in Marvelous. It's kind of cool, but generally shoes are so tightly fitting that it's pretty much like this kind of poly work, I feel like. Okay, so it's a little wonky. It's definitely a little wonky feeling. But everything in this kind of like blockout phase looks kind of bad. It's like when you're doing character art and you haven't, like you're in pure blockout like painting phase. So like there's no sharp edges, there's no real lighting. It's just pure like colors, basically. Colors and shapes. It doesn't look like much. It takes a full extra step before this actually starts to look like cloth clothes and armor and stuff like that. So it doesn't have this. So this is because my brush is too small, too big. If anything, it has a silhouette the other way. So this is, I've lost a little bit of control of the topology here because we went up res. So I think I could have stayed in the low poly phase a little bit longer in Maya. Added the subdivs there. I just don't have the quad. I wasn't like tracing anything. So it's just like actual poly modeling sucks. It's like way less fun versus doing quad draw. So I just wanted to come back here. It's a little easier. But I've lost a little bit of control here of the shape. So just lots of clicking. I've also kind of lost it had been like years since I've like plugged in my Wacom tablet, so I've kind of lost the Wacom touch a bit. So just like not as confident. Like there's a lot of just like user artist error, and like I'm like, oh, I want to do this, but I can't pull it off because I'm using a Wacom tablet. So I'm currently mousing this stuff. So there's like the theory, but then there's like me actually executing the brushstroke correctly, and I'm like not really doing that so well. So it's this phase where like sometimes moving a single vert is easier in Maya, but it's kind of painful without Gozi to keep going back and forth. But let's call that the blockout for the shoe, right? So it's like it's reasonable topology. We could probably, I'm gonna duplicate it and see if I can get like what ZR Mesher would do to it. It might just like auto clean up like I might never get that straight again, you know, like in any reasonable amount of time without going back to Maya. So let's see what this is gonna do for me. Same. became a bit of a sock, but that's fine. And so the sole we would have to like kind of extrude back out. I wonder how the bottom came out. Wow, look what it did to it down there. That's crazy. So that's probably the move. You know, it took me a bit too long to get to that phase. I'm gonna half this actually. This is pretty good. Like this topology, like I can't do that by hand, not easily. So there, that's a better smooth sock. That's like a sock really, at this point. And I think that's a better place to start with, so I'll kind of just start here. So I can't say that that's like the best workflow is to like spend all that time making that topology in Maya just to kind of smooth out this foot, but I don't know, it kind of worked. And it started to give me a little bit of an idea about how the final topology is going to look like. Though for a MetaHuman, the clothes get altered at like this topology, like definitely. So there's definitely feeling like socks still. So oops. Now that we've retopologized everything like that, I feel like we could probably handle a using the inflate, which is kind of like just like makes things like thicker. But we're still in this like very thin phase. But let me try like an inflate 1. That was negative. That's 1. So it's also going to thicken down. So we'd have to kind of reflatten it later. But that's I don't know. That was a long way to get to this. But they have toes, so I couldn't extract it, you know. So let's do mirror weld or whatever it's called, like mirror. I should have put that down here. Did I do that? No. Is it modified topology? Mirror and weld. It's just mirror, but there's nothing to weld, so it should be fine. Okay. So there's the boots. I think I definitely like them as socks because they're just this quads are more even and straight versus trying to like beat this thing back into submission wasn't going to happen. So I don't even know what to say about that workflow, but that's how I did it. So there's my Spider-Man socks that will turn into boots. I think it could probably even go a little higher, but again, we could just extrude it up and then ZR remesh it again. It kind of like fixes everything. So far it looks insane, but it's because nothing has thickness. We're still kind of blocking out. I'm going to save as 3. Okay. So nothing has thickness, right? It's like, it's pretty much, it's almost like we just drew lines around the body, but I think this topology sets us up to be able to go all the way with it. With the pants, they need to be a little bit thicker, and I'm not so sure I'm gonna go for the leather jockstrap, but I do like this detail here. This is all 100% stitch. We're gonna just sculpt that in to the high poly and bake it down to like basically this anyway. So let's see, did I separate the pants yet? I think it's time to start thinking about thickness just a little bit. And then I'm going to block in the straps. And if that's what I get to today, I'd be pretty happy with that. What's this? There's just body. Oh, the order got kind of funny. Where's the clothing? Oh, undershirt and pants. Okay, so let's go to this one and we're gonna break this up a little bit. So let's look at this. Let's do auto groups or whatever it's called. Where's this? Polygroups, auto group, and I want to split by groups. I don't know how to do that. I want these to be 2 separate subtools. I don't know how to do that. So instead, I'm going to take this and duplicate it. Let's call this one. Where are you then? Rename. We'll call this one shirt with an 8. Okay. And pants. So this one is pants, meaning we can select this. We can just get some rows out of here too, but take this one, delete hidden. This one's just pants. This one's the shirt. And delete hidden. So now they're separate. That's how I do it. Slow way. Solo. So let's see here. So these pants are currently like skin tight and they look it, and that's what throws us off a bit. So let's start with the pants. They're kind of like a base layer. I'm going to give this an inflate. That's 4. That's pretty good. So let's look at this from back here. All right, so it's a bit thicker overall than the actual body. And I cannot zoom in this program. And now what we want to do is start to smooth out like these knee details. Like we want it to feel like it's more like it's just draped straight down. And get it away from this like skin tight looking thing. I think there's like an overall, I think I've seen people do a couple different things with the form at this stage. You can smooth it, and I think polish is also something people do. Never mind, there's no polish here. Noise, taper, offset, bend. Isn't there, here's smooth. Okay, so does this actually do it? Oh, I can't tell. Oh, it is. It's kind of, yeah, it's starting to get rid of it, so we can just keep doing like a lot of it. I might have smoothed it first, but let's smooth that a bit. And we want this to feel, I think it's probably a move tool. There's something to be said if we did this in Marvelous to get like kind of like a default more hanging feel, but it's just kind of like pulling this away from the skin a little bit. And there might be more of a procedural way of doing it than how I am, but and we're kind of high poly actually on these pants to be doing this kind of stuff. I could probably drop down a resolution, either reconstruct or retopo. What the fuck was that? What the fuck? This is because I have a Wacom and a mouse at the same time. You shouldn't just pick one. So we just need to kind of start pulling this away. Now I have to actually start using my Wacom tablet again. And so if we had done this in Marvelous, we would kind of, you get a more relaxed fit faster. But generally, symmetry on, thank God, okay. Generally, we don't want it too relaxed, especially here. And we don't want it asymmetrical. So when you simulate it, sometimes it ends up being asymmetrical. That's a problem at this stage. We don't really want that, or I don't want that for rigging. Just having a hard time keeping this thing straight. There we go. Switching to Wacom hotkeys. So we kind of want to get rid of the wedgie, and once we do, we would maybe ZR remesh it to have it kind of like smooth itself out again. Where's shift this? Yeah, just kind of smooth this out. And this is like way too high up here, but it's kind of okay for now. So just smoothing and moving stuff. It's just like sculpt moving, but it's screen space sculpt moving. Oops. Yeah, so now it's slightly more leathery, like pantsy, not as tight. It's still tight, and that's good. That means the rigging is going to go well or easier, but it's not as defined. We could probably slice off this entire thing here, but I'm going to leave it. Okay. So added a bit of thickness to the pants, kind of smoothed them out a bit, and also separated them from the shirt. So kind of starting, just going over this over and over again from like kind of lower level to higher level as far as order, right? So as you thicken this, anything above it needs to get thicker than 2. So out of laziness, I'm just going to inflate. And I think that's just the fastest way to do it, because like this is not final mesh. We could just easily start to Dynamesh or ZR remesh it if I need to. So these are getting a bit big, but it's a little bit thicker now. So with that happening, now we're looking at like the chest piece, this lower chest piece, right? It needs to be like a lot thicker. like that. So everything's just getting thicker. Chest upper. Ooh, that's gonna mess with the neck, but we'll just see how it goes. Not too bad, right? And I kind of want to lose. Actually, we're pretty clean through here, but I don't want this to go into the arm, so that might need some like manual work. But yeah, so everything is getting a little bit thicker, which is affecting the silhouettes. This could definitely still be thicker, the corset thing. But we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. So we're just thickening slowly. Let's go to my shoulders. Nah, I don't know how thicken's gonna go for this. These are the shoulder plates. Or not thicken, inflate. Oh, it works pretty well. ZBrush is amazing. So these I'm gonna maybe push a little bit, but we don't want to get too crazy with them. But they're pushed away. Oh, you know what we didn't thicken is the undershirt, but I think that's okay because as we thicken, we start to have issues. We're already gonna have issues when it comes to rigging this under here, but okay. So we've thickened those things a bit. We have the pants. Let me click on these boots again. Let's go double. Back to the body, drop polyframe. And just kind of look at it overall. What are we looking at? He's just wearing big socks at the moment. It's okay. What happened up here at this collar intersection has some funny pinching, which will just get worse as we go along. So that's unfortunate. The chest upper. I'm not sure what that is. Because I think it's quads. I think this little bit, let me see if I can just like loosen this a little bit. Like, it was probably not the best base topology when I did this. Yeah, I'm relying on this for the curve. Wait, is this a triangle? Is this a triangle? Oh no, when did that happen? This makes me feel pretty bad, this right here. Like, this is the kind of thing that we want to be clean. And we want the whole thing to be, in this phase, we want everything to be clean. It's just going to get harder and harder if it's messy. That's possibly going to deform weird. We'll see. Well, in my final topology, it'll be clean. I don't know, how do we end up with a triangle? I don't know about this. But let's see, have we addressed all the things? I think so. The rest of this is sculpted on. Yeah. So like up to, ooh, I think these need to go a little higher. But anyway, like it's kind of like, they have it above the knee. Well, from here to there, they have sculpted. So I think I might pull these up. So we're just sculpting on these later. This thing is going to get completely sculpted. This is sculpted out. These need to get, these will get detailed, sent back to Maya, and we'll detail them there. I think it's strap time. So I'm going to start to like kind of block out some of the strap positions. And that would be the goal for today. And then it's starting to get into detailing and just kind of reworking overall in this low poly phase, just like block proportions. Because once I start high polying, it's over. Oh, you know what's erect is back here. How's this? So this chest lower, I think I can solve most of this with just moving it and then doing like a retopo. This thing is a cylinder, so not a huge deal. This is like, this was really poorly done on my part. This thing is like probably like up here. Like I don't know what I was thinking with this piece. I just clearly wasn't looking at the back. I'll try to smooth through that. I just need to smooth this thing kind of like flat and then bring it up and then retopo it. Like, get out of here. This part. Just smooth this back into like a cylinder. Just need this one point to behave. And this part's really easy to regenerate if I just had to regenerate it completely. And just be a little bit more careful about the back. Yeah, that's gonna throw off the entire retopo or remesh if I leave it like this. It's gonna try to preserve that like weird. So yeah, okay, so I mean, it's a curvy situation. It's a curvy area, so I'm gonna try to get it back. Oh no, back to normal. And if not, I'll just regenerate it. I'll just do an extract. You know, it's time to go low poly. This is just too much. We don't need this much resolution at this point, like at all. and I don't want to be like fighting these little verts over and over again. So I'm gonna I'll save just in case I like wreck this, but I'll just remake this piece if I have to for, like I remember which ones those are, who knows. Let's go to remesh. Oh boy. This one, half. That's pretty good. That's even better. Okay, yeah, so now it's gonna be much easier to just move things. Hopefully. This thing. I'm not really sure what the back of this looks like actually, hold on. It does go like over the butt a bit. So it's over the butt, but it's more like higher. It's just higher up. So it's just a little too low. It would probably be easier just to regenerate this whole piece. But I want to, in the front it's kind of fine, but in the back it's just like, it's more like here. It's just a little bit too low. Kind of re-even this out, and I'm going to give this thing a ZR remesh at the end. Just gotta let it, well, even at the same resolution, it'll, okay, what? There we go. Yeah, this is more close. Still a little pointy back here. Let me smooth it. Oh no. Smooth plus ZR remesh will kind of hopefully sort this out a little bit. Yeah, just less subdivisions help me keep control of it. Pull this down here and just kind of even this out. Yeah, so that's better. It's still a little bit like, a little funny. But yeah, that's a bit more like it. Oops. Oh my god, what the fuck? What is that control? I forget what there's something you can do to have it switch back and forth. So the chest probably needs to be a little bit thicker now, based on that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. This will be easier to, this is even possibly too high poly. But let me try one more. I can always undo. Let me try doing a same remesh and have it like kind of smooth itself out. Ooh, okay. What happened down here? I like that actually. That looks fine. And we can either sculpt these parts out or just give the whole thing a bit of a, this, like an inflate one. That's pretty good. Okay, that piece feels better now, especially back here. It's more like a good base for sculpting onto. Okay, let's go to the top chest piece now. That thing's needs to be formed a little bit now. This is a bit high poly, to be honest. This is gonna be hard to like really get in there. Yeah, this is too high poly. Looks like a White Walker. Yeah, it probably is the shading. Okay, this is too much topology. Though I don't know what's gonna happen to my collar if I, let's just try it, I guess. Let's go back. Let's remesh this a half. I kind of want to lose these subdivs between here, and I want this to resolve into quads better. So help me, ZBrush. Ooh. Hey, it's still triangles is up there, but let me see one more. I'm gonna have to manually sculpt that back in. We lost the kind of like free. So this is low poly stay here. Yeah, okay. So this is really what we need to be working on. I was trying to preserve this like free chest detail I was gonna get, but it just can't do that yet. We're not there. All right, we want to stay like kind of loose and fast in this phase still. I was trying to get some stuff for free. It's lost a little bit of the, no, it's still about right. Shoulders are so small. Yeah, it is the shading. I mean, once you bring it back into Unreal Engine, you see like the full shaded MetaHuman on it, you know, it just looks a lot better. But we can't quite do that yet. We can't quite do this stuff in Unreal Engine yet. I'm sure they're working towards it. Cylinders. Let's rename this. Shoulder armor. We actually have to break it out because it's two pieces, but this is going to come back into Unreal Engine. But Unreal Engine back into Maya, but Maya doesn't have this, or maybe it does, but I don't know how to do it. You just progressively extract or inflate out, extrude out as you add thickness. I just think that's really nice in this tool. In the ZBrush. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to feel it now. Now that we add a little thickness, so it's less skin tight. The shoes still look ridiculous. The hands are still very ridiculous. We need to come and inflate all the fingers back out. But the block out feels about right. I'm okay with this proportion. This is longer than this. I think this is a little bit bigger. It's a little longer down here than it is in like the reference. But it's not too late to pull that back in if we wanted to. And we're still staying pretty low poly. So let's look at the straps. So the next straps that are important are this crisscross strap. So it crisscrosses here and it crisscrosses in the back too. And so the lowest one is the one that goes from his left shoulder, and then this one's over it. So we'll start with this one. To draw this, I'm going to use the topology tool. I was using insert mesh brushes, but they don't spin to the body, so they end up being more work than they're worth for straps. Straps is the topology tool is the best ones that I've seen. So I'm gonna take this chest upper. It basically stays only on the chest, so that's kind of nice. I'll duplicate it and I'll hide that one. I'm going to subdivide it a couple times. Oh, okay, so when we do this, we're gonna need to have some holding loops, but we're not at that phase yet, because obviously as this smooth, it gets too thin, blah, blah, we'll fix that. So the next tool is the topology tool. If I can find it. It's alphabetical, so it's gotta be there. It is. Okay. So let's look at how this is coming through. So it's basically the top line's right at the corner and then it's under. And if we look at the angle of it, it's going over like here. It's like this. So let's see how this goes. So it's kind of like, oh, we're in symmetry, lazy mouse, give me a bit. See if I can connect these. So I think this one, is this gonna keep drawing? Yeah, okay. This one got a little funny back here. I think I have to redo that. The ending of this got crazy. Yeah, that's gonna freak out. Can I continue this like straight or no? I just ended that sloppy, so I gotta redo this, unfortunately. This needs to get extended a bit too, probably. So I need to not like double back on myself. I just need to let it go. Okay, I could definitely help to not see that arm there. Oh, this one looks like it double backed, but I was able to continue it pretty smooth like this. Oh no, it did double back. Well, we'll see how it comes out. I don't know if you can redraw over that too, because it's a little squirrely, but so then this connects up here. Like that. Hopefully it went under. Did it go under it? No, it went over. Okay. Oof. I thought it wasn't gonna do the ones. Yeah, this is ZBrush. To here, like don't go up. And then this one again like this. And this is just gonna make polygons so we can then reshape them after. So then we go like this. Oops, that didn't go all the way through for some reason. This is gonna go over it. I'm gonna try to sneak it through here. So the lines are a little messy, but we're gonna clean up the final polys. The base polys for this. Oh my god, ZBrush camera, why? What the fuck? probably just don't understand how you're supposed to use the ZBrush camera, but I get lost in this camera all the time. I don't know if that one made it through. I'm gonna undo. So this is going to be the easiest way to get this strap topology, even though they're not even. Like the insert mesh brush tool would keep it even across. It doesn't form fit it, so you end up with some like weird tangent. It's not helpful. So I think you click it now. Oh, crap. Undo. No. Fuck. I always forget how you get this to work. Oh no. Oh no. I need to delete the subdivisions under it. Delete lower. Oh, I don't know if this is actually valid because I just drew it. It was giving me an error the whole time, but I mean, I drew it. And then what do you do to this? You click it once. I think, oh, there's like some weird line got drawn through. Okay, so guess what? I'm gonna do this again. I screwed up. I screwed this up. Okay, so let's see here. I guess I can just undo all the way. I have to redo this. I did it with subdivisions. Luckily this has like infinite undos basically. Okay, well we get to do it again. So delete the subdivisions like that, or else this tool is pretty sad. I need this for reference, but in the same way it gets in the way when I'm drawing this line, so I'll just say about this. But okay, no subdivisions. Curve tool, ZBrush, no like subdivisions. Don't do it. I'm gonna take a little bit more lazy mouse radius. This like smooths out your brush. Like this. Got a little squirrely down there, but we'll clean that up. Oh no, this polygon's this is floating, right? Or is you gonna come back to Earth? No, see it went. You can't go off the mesh. Okay, so that one went off too. Okay, I suck. You gotta go slower. It's not gonna wrap around. And we lost edge thickness because of the way we smoothed it, but we'll fix that in the final. Okay, one more time. So we really can't go off. You gotta stop like here. And stop like here and clean stop. Okay, so those are clean stops. And you pick it back up and stop. Pick it back up and stop. A little bit of weird wobbly there, but try to fix that after. That connection looks bad. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh god, okay, so I keep using my mouse and my Wacom tablet and it's like just causing full chaos. So go ahead and pick back up. Oh no. There we go. That's a good one. Kind of. Yeah, I know. The whole transport, just everything about ZBrush is kind of odd. But it makes certain things really easy. Certain things that are basically impossible in other programs. So we're not even close to keeping like the distances correct, but there we go. Okay, so you're supposed to see these polygons pop up, and if you don't, you've been doing it wrong. So that's my fault. I'm gonna turn this off at this point. So it's basically quad draw, but with a couple extra things going on because it's stroke based, and then you can use lazy mouse. But I can't get the camera straight. Here we go. So this would actually be a decent candidate for quad draw in Maya, but I just don't want to see that connected through in a bad way. I would actually prefer to do this in quad draw, to be honest. So here's the thing, I can't get like under this because this strap needs to like keep going. Oh, maybe I can. Oh no, see it snapped. So I think what I'm gonna do is hide the shoulders at this point and just kind of do it with, oh no, look at that. Well, we'll fix that after. That's pretty bad. So we'll kind of draw through here, and I need this quad here. I need this. Look at that line, my god. I need that. And then back here, I probably need to keep going with this one a little bit. Yeah, I kind of would rather quad draw this. This is basically ZBrush quad draw. Okay. So then you click on it. Nope. You click on the mesh. There we go. Okay. So we got those polygons. That's all we got here. So then I'm going to do some stuff. We're gonna select this thing, invert, delete hidden. We're going to uncrease all. This comes creased, and this is so thick. I don't know how you change that. We're gonna solo this piece. It's way too early for thickness, so we could. I don't know if we should take the inner or the outer, but I'm gonna take this. Oops, hold on. I actually want just this face. Well, I'll delete hidden. What? How come? Well, then we can invert. Nope, nope. What? How come I can't just select this? Oh, this is dangerous to have that on too. We want to ISO this and then invert it and then delete hidden. Okay, all for this poly strip. But it's if you get faster, it's usually worth it. Okay, and so pretty messy execution, but getting these lines, getting this set up is kind of hard. The insert mesh way I tried yesterday, it doesn't work. With this form here, it wasn't keeping to the form. So it has like a different rule when it's doing it. So trying to keep this low poly. This unfortunately got really far away from the body because of the thickness, the default thickness we had on it. But we should be able to reverse inflate this thing to get it back closer to the body, I hope. But one of the things that looks like it would be like easy to do, but it's kind of hard, is the fact that like the face is pretty much like perpendicular tangent to the body. It's harder to do than it looks. For me anyway, I think. So it's still worth going through that kind of like wonky topology tool. So it should be like inflate it back to kind of like when we inner extrude to get it closer back to the body. Okay. So we're just looking to end up with not 2D, but you know, not thick, like flat straps while they're still in like a very easy phase to manipulate. All right, so this has to go even further. We can extrude it in, which we will do. This part could definitely be done in Maya. So take this edge with the topology tool. Yeah, extrude move, yeah. So we just want to pull this thing out. And then it's like, yeah, it's hard to, oh, maybe I'll do it from this angle. That worked out pretty nicely. I just have to like neatly, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to retopologize this thing later, but kind of need to neatly clean up this little strap so it goes somewhere. Like this must be like connected to the armor or something, to the shoulders. All right, so this tangent in here feels a little bit weird. Huh, I can like almost get it, but not quite. But you know, well, it's these big chunky quads, you can still feel that the shape's a bit off. And it's at this level that you have the smooth control over it, versus as soon as you divide it, you start to lose control of the overall shape. So it's this one's a little bit too much. And so you kind of have to babysit the thickness by hand, like how tall it is. But it gives you these, like, it gives the face is facing the right direction, like, immediately. Okay, so that's that one. I guess we'll finish it. Now, what am I looking at here? What is... Did my chest piece really go here? Wait a minute, what the hell am I looking at? No, this is the shirt. Hold up, we need to turn this back on. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I screwed that up a little bit. So let's take the strap and inflate it back. I wasn't looking at the right thing. Well, that wasn't so bad. Okay, there we go. This thing is still very low poly underneath it, so we subdivided it to get a little smoother. But by doing that, we lost mass, and so it didn't stick to the outside. I'll try doing the next strap on the low poly and see how it goes. And so the last piece we got to do here is just extrude this thing out a little bit, which should be the last tool we had. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'll try to do it without the shoulders there. And it probably needs one more just to be safe. And we just don't have the topology to kind of fit it over the hill. But let's see how this goes. It doesn't. Oh, no, it does. It definitely does need that piece. Okay, so I'll try it again. Oh my god. I mean, does this reach all the way around? And we could do it that way too, I guess. Oops. Okay. And then, again, these are screen space moves, so we can... It's fine on the other axis, it's just this kind of front axis that the curve got kind of wonky. Yeah, we didn't do as much cleanup back here, but we can later. Okay. And that's the hard part, to be honest. The detailing is easy. It's just getting this shape tucked in there. Maybe this pad moves up a little bit, but getting this is the art direction. This is like the actual modeling phase, is getting these set up here. Okay, so the next strap goes the other way, and it's on top though, which we'll probably won't have the resolution to do that. They'll just kind of cross through each other for now. So I don't think you want this to be here when you do it. So we want to go back to the chest upper, and we're gonna duplicate this piece and draw on it, this one, with the topo tool again. Oops, I just changed the draw size. This is space. There's all these hotkeys I'm hitting. I don't know what's going on. Let's go to topology. So what happens if I draw on this like low poly mesh? Oh, it's still fine actually. Oh, okay, so it doesn't care. That's actually fine. So we don't have to up-res it necessarily. But it is kind of snapping to the polys. Nah, you just start drawing though. I think it's okay. So I mean, we do care about kind of matching, but not really. So even though it's showing snapping, it kind of doesn't, and we don't have lazy mouse on. So coming kind of like right out of the corner through here and stopping before we go over. And despite it snapping there, it actually starts where your Wacom tablet is. Okay, those are clean. This is tangenting a little too sharp through here. Like, it's not gonna make it if I do it that way, but let's see if I can continue this through here. Maybe just S this down a little bit. That connection feels a little sketchy to me, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it kind of made it. We'll see how that looks from the front. Okay. This camera, there we go. So its path is going to need to have like a lot of editing, but basically coming. Oh, can you connect it back this way? I don't know if I can lazy mouse snap that. Nah, I can't hit it. Lazy mouse kind of offsets where you're drawing or delays it, so it's hard to land back in a specific place. Okay, so this is a mess of a curve back here, so this is going to take a lot of retweaking later. But it's enough to just tweak it in the... Okay, so that's not showing. Oh no, we got to do like the first one. Here we go. There it is. Okay, that means it's working. So we'll just extrude the rest. The hard part of this is this in here, in my opinion. It's like getting these faces to be like tangent. So even though we drew it crazy, it still found like the simplest square in there. What is the point of these YouTube bots? I don't get it. On Twitch, it was like VTuber hate raids, and on YouTube it's just like random bots. Those aren't even like links. It's not even trying to sell me anything. Okay, so this line never reconnected, so I've kind of done all this for nothing. Unless there's a way of fixing this. I have to go back an awful lot, and this is a way of connecting that. Crap, so we just gotta undo a bit. Well, make sure you're connecting properly, or else sad. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if the lines are wonky, because like the quad draw is just gonna find the right points for you. I hate this camera. So this is pretty awful actually, how this is like, that's really far off. But I kind of want to just get to quads at this point. And I'll reshape it after. It's still mostly in the right place. That one's, these are like way too high. But again, it's like I like know how to do the workflow, but then like executing the brushstrokes perfectly is still not there for me. This one feels like it has more topology than the other one. And the rest will just extrude. So then you click on the mesh, and there it is. Okay. So back into Move Tool, we're going to ISO. I'm lost. Hold on. I want this inverted. Nope. Okay. Oh, unmask. I want this piece inverted. Delete hidden. Uncrease. Uncrease all. And I want just this face, though it doesn't let me do that. Oh, let's solo so I can tell if the back is gone. Oh, it is. Okay, so we'll delete hidden. That's it. Okay, then we delete hidden. So all for this like little poly ring. But I still think it's worth it. And okay, so we need to come back and put this on. That's the step that I missed last time. I was like modeling it to like the not that. And so now we can put this on and start to consider like how they work together. So it got a little funky in there, but it's just two vertices to move around. What is the point of these bots? Okay, so still kind of like mouse territory. I think we're on edge extrude, right? No? What? Topology? Oh, I changed this down here. I didn't realize that's what happens when you do this. I want this to be the, I forgot what it's called. This thing. I didn't realize that you could change that by doing that. So this should just extrude the edge out. And I guess it's best to do it without the shoulder there. Though I'm kind of using the shoulder. Oops. Oh, that worked. There we go. Snuck it in there. That's just at the wrong angle. Where's the shoulder? This. Yeah, so, oh no. What the? Some weird snapping thing going on there. Yeah, so we just gotta reform them after, but yeah, we have the topology now. So same thing here. It probably needs to come like all the way up here, and then we'll scoot it around after. We just want it to be, oh, okay. That's probably fine. Move tool. Shoulders back on. Okay, never mind. It's like way the fuck out. But there's a chance that like this shoulder needs to move in anyway. Move out. Like be further away from the body to. Yeah, it's pretty close to the shoulder. So like probably the shoulder pad needs to move away from the body too. But we're not in like the sculpting phase for that yet. Fitting phase. We're getting there though. Okay, so down, so this went like wrong. So let's see where let's fix it from the front and then see if we can just fix it all the way around. So this wants to be like here actually. So let's go back into here. Oh yeah, way off. Yes, it's more like over there. And yeah, we just have like a mismatch of topology to be able to hold this this shape, but it's good enough. Once we add a little bit of smoothing to it, it'll kind of snap back up. Okay, so I think this one goes over that one. That's kind of the next step, is to kind of force that over it. We might need some more polygons to attempt that. But yeah. Oh, actually, I wanted to fix like the big picture problem. So this wants to all be lower. I didn't feel like fixing that in that topology stroke tool, so I'll try to do it here. Hopefully it's not too bad. But this whole thing wants to be like much lower. Yeah, that's okay. And then it gets like really thin, and yeah, I messed up the topology brush phase of this, but it's probably a little easier just to move it when it's in polygons at this point. Yeah, so this whole thing needs to kind of like loop down and go like that instead of how it is. Now, can I snap you? God damn it. There we go. Yeah, but the main thing is that like in ZBrush you kind of move things in like two planes at once, kind of perpendicular, planar screen space basically. So that's what you're getting from that topology tool. Whereas right now I'm kind of moving it in screen space, but it's mostly in depth at the right place. So you kind of solve depth by like a topology live wrapping it. So I think I'm gonna have to move the plate. I think that's the issue. The shoulder pad just needs more room. It needs to come away from the body a bit in this phase. So I don't know who's on top back here, but I don't think we necessarily have the topology to even describe that at the moment, because this is really just for pure shape, and then we need a little bit more. Let's pull it away. Trying to keep this a little bit more even. Yeah, not the most even topology in the world, but that's kind of working. So this one's supposed to be above it. If I pull this quad out, I don't know how that's gonna look, but we should definitely give it a shot. So how far away from the body is this other one? I could probably pull the whole face away at once. It's pretty good. From down here, same thing. That's pretty nice actually. That worked out pretty smooth. So that one's on top. It's a good sized brush to actually start to give it the curve back in the right way. And I'm assuming this one's on top here then too, probably. See if there's a reference. No, this one's under? Really? This one's over? This one goes over. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this one's on top. Okay, so basically same thing on the back basically. This one comes up here. Kind of lost some of the angle here. And we need a little bit more space from that shoulder pad. Yeah, this is a good size. With the fall off this big, I'm still learning how to use the move tool correctly. I don't think that can, oh no, I can still go close to the body, that's fine. But this is a good size. I don't know how to describe this tool at the moment, but like this is a good focus shift 0, and this like kind of above it allows me to move this in like a really nice gradual way. Okay, there's the straps. That's actually like a tricky part, I think. I think that's kind of a hard part of this, is to get these little strappy things in the right place. But those should extrude pretty nicely. We have a lot more topology on this round than we did on that one, but oh well. Still kind of fitting. So those are the shoulder straps. Let's take a peek here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a big part of the thing. I think this is feeling pretty good, how those are coming in there, as far as like the witcherness of it. And then there's the sword straps, and then there's technically, wait a minute, did I just do this wrong? No, it's fine. The one under it has this extra belt in there. I might skip that on mine just to have it be finishable. I would say the next thing is the little buckle at the top is pretty important. There's a buckle at the top and then a buckle here. I think we probably need to sculpt this chest piece a little bit better before we get that. And then there's this big belt there. So I think the big belt is next. Well, these little buckles in general, these are like what I was kind of like testing yesterday. I think I'm just going to model those in Maya. I mean, I kind of have to. So this one is going to be based on this lower chest piece. So we'll duplicate that one, hide the original. And same thing, just to get this initial belt, and then we'll do the loopity part second. So it's basically ends on the sags to the right, like down, but then rests at like the crest of the hip part here. So it's like kind of like here to there. So we should do the lower line first probably, and then the back is like whatever. So this one, topology tool. Lots of lazy mouse. So we want to get this one, right? Oh, no symmetry. So it's kind of like here. But you can't go off the edge or else it like goes off into 3D space. So it kind of like starts to loop back around like this too. Like here, and again we'll go tweak the actual polygon. So let's do this low line all the way across, actually connect it. I don't know what to think about back here, to be honest. Let me look at how this sorts itself out. Okay, so it loops back down. Actually I did it right. Yeah, it comes back down, so we'll sort that out a little bit after when it's polygons. And then it lays low here. Yeah, okay, good. This is connecting fine. Not the best drawn line. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to connect those. Hold on. Oh, it's a full loop. Oh, I should have held shift. Gotta get this pen down. If you hold shift, it'll loop all the way around. I don't know if that considered that a finished loop or not. We'll find out. So then technically, actually what I could have done is now, I wish I could like duplicate that line. If I hold shift, oh, never fucking mind about that. Huh, I thought that would loop, but it doesn't like that one under it. Oh well, What's wrong about that? A little concerned with these like meeting back up. That double backed on itself. This would be definitely, this is like, I think I prefer the Zebra or the Maya quad draw tool over this. But maybe I just need, oh, see, like that didn't, or did it connect? I just like, there's a lot of like precision you have to hit with like getting this to like mechanically work out. Like this needs to perfectly go there. I don't know if that considers it, and that's a little bit bad, but I don't know if that considers it a finished loop. We'll find out. And I don't think you can come back and like reform this either. Ooh, what the oh, what the F? Oh, it's kind of snapping. I wonder if you could like turn off the snapping or something. Like, yeah, I'd almost rather go do this, send this into, man, look at that line. What the hell? It's like snapped to the other side. So you can't like let go while it's hovering the line. I wonder if there's like a Z call where it's like don't, or depth call when this comes to drawing this. There probably is, like ignore backface. But you can basically draw it and it snaps through the body like that. It snapped through on this line. A pain in the ass. Almost gotta go do this and snapping through again. Almost gotta go just do this in Maya. Oh my god. Oh, are these all snapping through? Oh god damn it. Or is it, oh, is it because it's connected? What the fuck? Oh, it's oh, never mind. It's because it loops. It's drawing it's finishing the circle. Okay, I get it. Don't like it, but I get it. Yeah, I would rather do this in Maya. I just have more confidence in the tool. Here I'm just like trying to rush through it so I can get polygons and get back to normal. I see how this is being done. It's connecting the loop. I thought that was drawing through to the back. Oh no, and then what's this? What is this? I just like did all that and I don't think it's gonna work. Oops. And it didn't connect it. Oh my god. Well, it's something. I could definitely do this much more precisely and nice with the quad draw tool, but we can still make that into something that works. It's just awful. It just kind of turned out poorly. Let's go solo. Yeah, and maybe I'll just get better at this over time. But let's get rid of this, flip it, delete hidden. This should be creased. I'm gonna uncrease all. It might not just, it might be in like kind of like a bugged state. Delete hidden. And is this edge, oh no, it did do it separately. Okay, we're gonna flip it, delete hidden, double. And we should be able to merge this line with the modeling tool, if I remember this correctly. So we're going to bridge, yeah, edges. Oh, nice, okay. And I made it a polygroup, so we'll just make this whole thing a polygroup. And yeah, really wonky, but we'll go shape it. Let's get out of solo. Let's turn this back on. So it's pretty wonky workflow. I think it's quad draw, but it's just ZBrush quad draws, which is kind of hard to use, I think. So I'm gonna inflate this back in a bit. It's a little bit far away. So let's kind of solve Z, and then we'll just kind of draw out, cleaning this up a little bit. But the insert brush basically didn't rotate around the corners here, so it was basically doing this again, except it had depth and I don't know. I think if I wanted like a ton of control, I would go back to Maya for this phase. But as long as we end up back with this mesh here, this polygon, this one row of polygons, that it's shapeable here, and a lot of the solving has been done for us on the depth axis, like how close it is to the body, and then we kind of just come in, kind of reshape it in 2D. Yeah, this part got screwed up. How come I can't see the lines anymore? I think if I there's maybe a setting, but also if I reset ZBrush, I can actually see the polylines. I don't know what happened, because I can't see them right now. Yeah, that's not bad. I could use the mouse and Wacom at the same time, not a good idea. And then we add thickness to it, and we can, when it's in this mode, it's easy to extract or inflate back and forth for thickness. Yeah, so what's the main thing that looks kind of off about it? It's kind of this. But it's a little maybe too loopy. So if I go real big like this, let's see, this moves it like it's almost like cloth when you have it just about the size of the strip itself. Yeah, that's pretty good for the base. Why are you such a weird color? Okie dokie, and quick save. So that should be the blockout for the most part. I'm not 100% on this collar. I guess we can kind of come in at this point. The glove's a little funny too, but that should be the major parts broken out into how they'll be modeled. I'm probably going to go for this being all one piece because I'm a little lazy. And, you know, I suppose we should do the swords and the sword, this thing. Though these don't deform anything, I don't think. And they're just like, they really could be done like at the end once this is all extruded out over everything. And the sword placements, they're pretty floaty. They're not really like, they shouldn't affect anything else. They're like truly like an add-on detail. Like if you add like a knife or like a something, it's like it doesn't affect these meshes too much. Like, and they're not against something soft where you'd have to like sculpt the intersection or something like that. It should be okay. This collar, I don't really like how it's going, so let's go back to this. Yeah, I don't see the edges anymore. Yeah, so the collar's round, but it's a little bit more like this. I don't know if this phase is and again, and I think the collar's a little closer to his head. So maybe just sculpt this collar a little bit. This triangle feels a little bad. I could probably either, ooh, yeah, I can't see the edges either. So there's either like a mode that like you can see the edges, or I just need to restart ZBrush. But this collar is not quite right yet. And then while it's just one polygon thick is the time to kind of fix it. This topology is not great, so there's a chance. Oh no, god damn it. What the fuck did I just do? I keep clicking things by accident. There's a chance that I should take this back into Maya and retopologize it so that it quads perfectly. Let me save this. And I'm going to reopen it. And I might need to retopo this chest piece because it's really important that it has loops in the right places. Like this is probably not looping correctly. Save as. This is pretty good for one day though. To get like all the pieces, like the breakouts. Like each piece has its kind of base to start being put in there and it's roughly in the right position on the MetaHuman. I'm just going to restart ZBrush because I can't see the topology. Actually, let me send out, I'm going to send this whole thing back to Maya to look at it there. I don't like fully trust ZBrush for looking at topology, like low poly topology. So let's do merge visible. I think that's going to be fine. So we get this new subtool, which is that. Yeah, so this is all one piece. Looks pretty good. It's pretty good. And we'll send this to Maya. To Maya work in progress. Basically, I don't have... Okay, we're going to have to keep this in order. So we're going to say MetaHuman Witcher Blockout 01. And I'm just going to say from ZBrush so it's clear. And I don't have go Z. So this is with them all in separates. I probably should keep that, so I'll just keep this here as far as history. I'm gonna go check out how we did from ZBrush. I like it. So yeah, I should come back. Oh no, is it quads? Is this actually quads? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it is. It's just really pinched. Okay, ZBrush just renders the normals kind of funny. I don't know if that's how I want to solve this, though. I think I would rather... I would rather a point here. How's this going to smooth? It's not bad. I would rather this point be here, and then that would make it 5. And so, yeah, I need to kind of sort the topology of this. This collar was... That's not how this should be done. And so where's the pull here? So this isn't, okay, so this is not a loop. I should probably fix the topology of this before I move on, because or I'll basically never be able to sculpt it nicely. We almost have a loop. We want this loop here clean before it does the transition. So we kind of want this loop to come through here. And I want this quad to be there, which means another subdivision through here, which I want to go straight down, which it would. Yeah, I have to retopo this piece before we keep going, because the collar topo is just not going to work out. Like this is not good. This wants to be a full loop. But this loop is good. The collar is in a reasonable place, and this just needs to loop and then put an extra line through there. And then the next phase is to start modeling this stuff in Maya anyway. And I mean, these are not so far from the topology that actually goes into the game. These poly strips actually, but we're gonna sculpt it first. I mean, like in a way, you could just take this. This is basically the in-game model in a lot of ways. Just we got to do the topology stuff first. So this is technically quads. I'm just a little concerned with like. So what happens when we add edge loops to this? Like here. Ooh, yeah, it pulls super hard in this little thing. That's gonna pinch in the sculpt, and it's gonna look bad. It should be clean. So that's just bad topology. Okay. Well, let me see if I can solve that, because that would be basically it. Once I solve the chest piece, it's time to start actually high poly modeling the shoulders. So let me see if I can mess with this a little bit. So is this good enough to start with, or should I? I'm gonna save as. Though I can keep re-importing that piece. It's not like a big issue, but if I lose it. So should I quadra on this? Like, so much of this is right. What am I really doing? I need to pull this loop through. Nah, we're gonna quadra on it, I guess. Well, let's see. I've never done this before, actually. So quadra. We could use symmetry. It doesn't really matter. But let's get the first loop down. So it's gonna be go front view. It's gonna be 1, 2. Have to sort this out. These might be too small to start actually drawing this. That's pretty small already. So as we get to the midline, which is around, oops, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so let's try to get 4 on the back. 1, 2, 3, and then midline's right around here. 4. So a little stretch kind of funny, but so this 4 all the way around. So the next thing is we need 4 to match, but they need to be in a loop like this. 1. Wait, this is the midline. This is what I screw up. So this is the midline. 2. Ooh, this would be tight. 3. Ooh, there's no way. If this is the top around here, there's no way to do that in 4. That at the minimum is like 6. Yeah, there's no way. That's impossible. So let's see. I mean, we need at least that to get to here. This is just way too much here. And then that's too much there. But that looks pretty unstressed. Still a little long on this dimension here, but I think it could possibly work out. Half line is where? I can't tell. But so we have to be able to transition from whatever this loop becomes back into that loop. And this is clearly the high. This is the one that's pulling all the geometry. Or this has more topology to make around this big hole. I don't think I have to match it because it doesn't loop back around the front. It just has to look kind of quadded. So maybe this is enough. So if this is the half line, oops, we have this, but then now we need to protect I mean, this has to be the same row. This can't be another. I don't think there's a transition row between these. This is just like, this is that row. This is this. Let's see how this wraps around. Is that going to be this one here? And now we start to have decision time about how that's going to work out. Oops. Okay. But yeah, we got to transition this loop to that loop. That's the game. This will be right up the middle. And yeah, so now we want to start deciding how I want to do this collar. So I think it's going to be something, I think I wanted this. Now how is this going to not get so pinchy? What can we do? Is that a quad through here? No, it's still a triangle. So it's still going to be something like this. It's kind of wonky. But like that, I have this edge. It's still quads. Where's the other hidden one? It's like a hidden one, hidden quad there, which is allowed. And then this one starts to wrap back around. Okay, so that's the solve. It's this. I wanted this little piece here. And then this there. It's still not like a loop though. Like if I add a loop. Oh no, it is. There, that's what you want. We want this perfect loop through there. I take it back. That should be perfect. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. So we just have to kind of match this density on the way down. So it's like here, here. Suppose this is lining up here. And let's see if we can get this to line back up. We're a little low in topology actually, so we can take an extra right there. This is a quad. This is a quad. Quad, quad. Okay, we're gonna start to have some issues right about here. Sliced it. That's a quad. This is a very stretched quad. But this is the transition part, so the transition part's always a little bit funny. Oh, that works. Hold on. That's where it goes, yeah, okay. Nope. Okay, so we have to protect this quad loop. Hold on, this one, this poly ring, this one. And does this make it all the way to here? There's no way. That's a quad. And then this splits. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And then this just goes straight across to match this one. And I'll probably do like the actual modeling of the collar here in Maya, then send it back for sculpting. Damn it. Okay, so that is a proper topo of this now. Can kind of like do this too. Yeah, so we have a proper poly loop around the arm, merging to a poly loop around the chest, merging to a poly loop around the bottom of the collar, and then also we can add perfect quad topology through here. Now this edge loops all the way through and terminates into this kind of like secret little piece there. So that's good topology. Still rather low poly cagey. And so this smooth could definitely be like the low poly for the game, like the actual mesh that we use. Okay, not bad. So let's hide the live surface, this one. Oh, what the actual? I'm a little afraid of what just happened. There it is, okay. So, this row is the symmetry line. Let's go to the front. It's close. So we can scale, which is R here, and then snap here. And then we should be able to mirror, don't merge, clear this thing for its merging from 196 to 176. That should be good quad topos. This is the good topology version, so let me see, like chest, upper, retopo. And so it has this like sneaky edge in here. So let's see if we can actually keep this thing quad. So I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna test subdivision surface test it now. I guess we won't take symmetry, doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. So let's just start adding edge loops and subdividing it. So we'll put that here. We'll just do it asymmetrically. So can I hold this edge? This is the question. Ooh, it's still not the right way. I still fucked up the color. Okay, I still gotta rethink this color actually. No, this edge loops down. Okay, it's still not done. We're not done. But it's better. It's in a better shape. But this will hold now here. But how's this gonna divide? No. This part's good, this part's good, this part's bad. So this color is still wrong. Okay, hold on. This is not the topology. So actually what we have to do, I just realized it's an edge. We need to loop in. I don't know how to do that. This actually, this loop has to go into here, and this loops. This becomes its own little loop in here. How do we do that? It can be done. This is already a quad. This needs a loop here. Then we merge these together. This is how we do it. Okay. Now this is an inner loop. So I've wrecked the shape most likely doing this. And this is concave. But getting it right in 2D first is not bad. So now what happens with an edge? I should be sliding instead of moving like this. What happens now with insert edge loop 2? Where is that tool? Here. Ooh, that's pretty nice. And then what about right here? That's pretty nice too. Okay, so I think this is the right way to do a collar. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I probably screwed the shape up overall. Let's see. It's not too bad. A little poppy. Ah, that's it. Perfect. Yeah, ZBrush wasn't going to ever get that, basically. Probably. I don't think it would have. Okay, let's see if I can mirror that back then. Oh, I have to perfectly align everything first. Hold on. I think it's there. I'm a little worried about merging that, but we will see. merge, flip, click, and vertex. Give me all of these, and we're gonna go 294 to 272. So something happens. And if we now, how is this then? Yeah, this is the thing that defines the curve. This one too. They all come to this. That's pretty good. Okay, that's perfect topology. And then we can kind of sculpt it out too. And perfect loop here, loop around the edge, loop around the collar. Yeah, this is also the thing that when you come out of Marvelous Designer, you're not gonna get perfect topology for doing subdiv modeling / ZBrush sculpting. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I need to do that to every piece that needs to have like a proper form to it. Okay, so that was a bit of a journey. Chest tompo, that's it. Yeah, doing that in ZBrush, I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. So let's see. So this is end of day 1. Looks pretty basic, but this is pretty close to, I mean, this is like the topology that goes back into the game eventually. We could go definitely one smooth level higher, but this is pretty much the topology we project back onto. And I kind of feel safe starting in ZBrush from, you know, viable game topology, and then we just add on to it. We add thickness, we add some other stuff, but it makes me feel more confident that we'll actually get this back into a game. Now, rigging these fingers is my main worry, because we don't do the loop like the MetaHuman topology fingers do. They have a loop, I think, that goes in between here, and there's a loop around each finger that's kind of like a knuckle. But this is where I'll leave this for day 1. Tomorrow I'll come and start to do high poly subsurface detailing on like the hard surface stuff. So it's mostly Maya actually, and then eventually bring that back to ZBrush and sculpt it. But the goal was to have everything be perfect game quads and fit pretty skin tight to the MetaHuman skeleton, so rigging's easier, and have every little part isolated. Like this is the breakdown of how it's going to go back into Painter. Basically, each one of these little meshes will be different, and I still feel fairly confident that the swords and the final strap can happen like a little bit later on, if at all. But cool. So I'll be back tomorrow and start to shell these out and get the proper topology so we can sculpt these ones too. Good piece.